WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Single cask, Germany exclusive, Ballechin. Ballechin is the peated brother, sister, partner of the Edradour brand here. So what we have here is Whiskybase number 247981. Just hit the market over here in Germany 2 days ago. We have here, it was distilled on the 13th of October 2010. It was matured for 13 years entirely in a first fill white wine Chardonnay cask, number 803. And what we have here is it was bottled on the, and there's actually a little code here, it was bottled on the 19th of December 2023. So I have bottle number 92. Now, to be honest, wow, I have bottle number 92 of how many? Edradour, I know every time you do something right, I still criticize you on doing, you could have done a little bit better. I'm sorry. If at all possible, bottle number 92 of 300, of 212, of 118. At least it would, my curiosity. All right, so what we have on the back here, and I'm going to have to read this, I'm going to read a lot more after this as well, is we have winemaker Hans Terzer. I have no idea who that man, I had no idea who that man was. Unfolds his great artistry and experience with the Sanct Valentin wines, selecting only the most excellent grapes from the vineyards of the St. Michael-Eppan winery. He creates elegant, intense, and complex wines, characterized by the exquisite minerality, exceptional aging properties, and finest aromatic. Andrew Zemington, the owner of Edradour Distillery Scotland and Signature Vintage, by the way, used these casks to bring the same intense and complex notes into his Edradour, and in this case, Ballechin wines. What I thought was kind of cool is not only did Mr. So we have both signatures here. So we have here Andrew Simnington, and we have Hans Terzer. Now, that they did not sign every bottle. This is just something they put on the label. But still, Hans put his name on a whiskey bottle. Now, who is... okay, first of all, what is the wine? And then we'll go to who is that Hans. So, interesting enough, this yellow is exactly the same color yellow they use for their Sanct Valentin's Chardonnay wine bottles. All right, so this is a recognizable feature. If you go online to St. Michael, stmichael.it, IT for Italy. All right, and it says here the Chardonnay Sanct Valentin. This is one of the most popular grape varieties in the world and is one of the winery's favorites, and the Chardonnay has been in St. Valentin's top line since 1986. Grown only in select micro zones of Appiano. The resulting grapes are excellent and produce a high quality and vigorous yet elegant wine. Excellent balance and well-integrated acidity and great aging potential are the core characteristics of this top wine. So on the nose, we could be getting fruity aromas of ripe fruit and fruity aromas of ripe fruit. Fruity fruit. And notes of smoky vanilla, and on the palate, maybe strong mineral, buttery, full bodies. Now, that's the wine that was used here. 13-year full maturation in a wine cask from Italy. The barrels have to be taken from Italy all the way up to Scotland, but hey, I guess that's possible. Now, if we go over here to our winemaker, and we have very big quality knows no compromise. These are the famous words of winemaker Hans Terzer, to whom he has remained faithful over the years with passion and courage. Hans has brought St. Michael-Eppan wines to the avant-garde of Italian enology, so the winemaking. So one of his greatest talents is his extensive knowledge of varieties, which he has developed in strength over the last 40 years. This guy's been making wine now for 40 years. Each variety needs its own specific site, and yield must be based upon quality. And now, throughout his career, Hans has developed passion for white grapes. Ta-da! Becoming one of the pioneers in South Tyrolean. Oh, I did not know that's the English word here for South Tyrol. White wines. He's one of the first in South Tyrol. Tyrol, Tyrol. It's a German-speaking area of northern Italy. And to begin the aging of white wines in barriques. The barriques are all European oak. So, what do we have here? A little bit of his awards here. 1997, the Italian wine magazine Il Gambero Rosso named him one of the top 10 best winemakers in the world. In 2000, the St. Michael-Eppan winery was named Cantina dell'Anno, which means the winery of the year. And in 2017, the most important and prestigious German gourmet and lifestyle magazine, Der Feinschmecker. It just sounds so bad in German, doesn't it? Der Feinschmecker. So honored Hans Terzer with a Lifetime Achievement Award. In addition to this, he was named Wine Personality of the Year in 2023 by the renowned Gold und Milieu guide. And I butchered that last thing, I'm sorry. So Hans knows what he's doing. Now the question is, do I know what I'm doing tasting a peated whiskey, not a peat head, in a white wine cask, which is unique to say the least. Now what am I going to compare it to? I have over here, I'm going to flex for a second. I have a Ballechin 19-year-old with 2 Madeira puncheons put together. This has a 53.5% alcohol. We have here our Whiskybase number 237371. There was only 1,323 bottles of this. I think that European exclusive, and 199 euros. And I have a little bit left in my bottle. So we're going to compare this. Now, the thing that is really interesting about this is they, Edradour Distillery, brand Ballechin, used heavily peated malt. So we're talking 50 plus ppm. Normally they're anywhere between 15 and 30%. Now, before I try these two, there is a big problem at the moment in the whiskey distilling sector for high quality available peated malt grains. Now, it used to be that over here in Germany, we could buy from Scotland, maybe Glen Esk, maybe a different malting partner. We could buy peated malt barley. Cost maybe 4 times the normal price of normal malt barley that we are used to getting in Germany, von Weyermann and Bamberg and so on. But hey, we want that original Scottish peat reek, that smoke, that smell. The prices have gone up to 8 times now compared to the normal, and the problem is they're not even selling. They're not even selling to people outside of the whiskey industry, and they're not even selling to outside of the Scotch whiskey industry, and they're not even selling to people within the Scotch whiskey industry. My sources here at Edradour, Andre Haberecht from Whiskey Tales, he's mentioned time and time again that they just can't buy peated barley, malted barley anywhere. And so there will be, in 12, 13 years from now, less and less Ballechin that is being produced. Now, if you don't believe me, the Malt Whiskey Yearbook 2024 says exactly the same thing. In 2023, they mentioned it. It's been a difficult time for the whiskey industry to get high quality, good, I'm not going to say the word high quality, good peated malt barley. And after Port Ellen basically said on Islay, we're only going to now deliver to our own companies. A lot of places, Atbeck, Kilhoman, and so on, are kind of going, and what about us? What are we going to do? There will be solutions, I'm sure, but the whole industry at the moment with peated whiskey is a little bit in a transformational period. Let's say that. All right, so we'll experience what that means with our Ardbeg 10 in 10 years from now. We'll experience what that means here with a 13-year-old single cask in 13 years from now. So those are the things that happen today that will affect the future. But let's talk about this whiskey here. On the nose, I do get the very typical Ballechin moment. And the thing is, I get a little bit of a mineral acidity, a little bit of sourness on the nose as well. I'm not sure if that fits together. All right, so it's an interesting concept, but I'm not sure if the peated Ballechin and the white wine Chardonnay is the perfect match. Match made in heaven. Oh, the Madeira is really strong on this. I like this. There's a little bit of a woof of smoke afterwards, but the Madeira is very, very evident on the nose. Wow, nice. 199 euros. Here we have basically 84 euros. So let's try. Cheers. Mm. 48.2%. Over here we have our 53.5. There's a lot of acidity going on in here. The white wine Chardonnay is there, and I'm not sure I like it. Have you ever made like a homemade cocktail? And I'm not talking about cocktail with different alcohol. I'm talking like a non-alcoholic alcoholic cocktail. Sometimes I just have like 5 different juices in front of me. It's like, okay, I'll put some grapefruit in there. I'll put some apple juice in there. I'll put a little bit of cranberry juice in there and a little bit of grape juice. And just boom, what do I have? And it's like, oh, that grape juice was not what I should have done. It just puts it in a direction that I didn't want to go into. And that's what I'm getting here. Now I'm sure the Chardonnay itself is great. I like a good white, cool Chardonnay. I'm not sure if I like a 13-year-old full maturation in a first fill Chardonnay cask. This just goes into the direction that is not my wheelhouse. I am sure that there is going to be people, loads of people that go, Jason, this is so unique. This is so wonderful. This is so awesome. It is unique. It is interesting, but it's not my wheelhouse. Now, the peat towards the end is absolutely positively integrated. Nothing's fighting with each other. There's no disharmony. It's just in a direction. It's just like some people do not like jazz. Some people do not like country. Some people do not like classic. Some people do not like, let's go for rhythm and blues. Some people don't like rappers. And most people don't like all music, but some music is just like, eh. And so this is that little bit of an area of a wheelhouse, a little bit of area of my flavor profile where I go, eh. I still bought it. I still did a share, and I still learned so much here about Hans, about the Sanct Michael-Eppan Distillery or Keller. Kellerei is what they say in the German word here. Oh, let's take a look in the Italian word. What do they say for that here? So I can switch from Italian, which I've not done, German, English, and Italian. What do they call it here? I'm sure they have a word here. Cantina. Okay. So, okay. La cantina, la persona, il winemaker. I just love that. It's just like they use the English word in Italian to talk about that. All right. Okay, la qualitate, la qualitate non conosca compromessi. Wow, I'm probably hurting all the ears here of Italian-speaking people. I did learn a little bit of Italian, but I'm not very good in it. I did learn a little bit of Spanish, not very good in it. I've lived in Germany now for 30 plus years. I'm pretty good at that. All right. Mm. The minerally, the acidity. Um, so there's a little bit of fruitiness. It just doesn't ring my bell. C minus for taste, C minus for price. I think 84 euros for single cask. Everything's okay. 48.5%. 48.2% could have been a little bit more. Now, what I never did a video about this. I'm not going to do it either. So, as I said, on the nose, the Madeira is so fine. I'm just not the peat head, and normally my opinion of peated whiskeys are there are other people doing much better jobs of that. But hey, look, in Germany we had a 19-year. There was a Mazzanilla, I think that was what 17-year. There was a 19-year here from two Madeira casks. So we're spoiled for choice at the moment, at least in the last 12 months for what Edradour and Ballechin has been throwing out on the market. And for 19 years of age, basically cask strength, 200 euros. It's not a bargain, but it is so unique that many people are like, oh, I have to try this. Cheers. Mm. Mm. And then comes the peat. It's like almost like an ashtray type of moment. This has a nice little campfire moment. It's not the smoked ham. It's not the heather. It's not the what else do we have there? This is not the ashtray. This is bonfire smoke a little bit, ash, and so on. This is more of like a cigar ash, a little bit of like a cigarette ash. That has too much in there. This just goes, oh, nice, nice. It's not my whiskey. It's not something that I'm gonna ever reach to and go. I like to smell it, but nope, not taste it. Just not my, definitely not my thing. So my question of the day is, I'm gonna hammer this home a little bit. Peated barley in Scotland is tough to get by at the moment to get. Now, which means in maybe next 5 to maybe even 10 to 13 years, we're going to need alternatives. Springbank's not going to get any better. Springbank's going to remain, will even become more rare product. Sorry. I think Ben Romach is one of the brands we're going to look at more and more and go, oh, that's nice. I think Legic is one of the brands we're going to look at and go, oh, that's interesting. I think Stosha from Bunnahabhain is one of the products some of us are going to look at. And I think Atnamochen might be one of the products we're going to look at more and more in the future. Go, great quality, great price, good price, and as soon as they get the age statements up over 8 years, we're going to go, wow, that stuff can be amazing. And so I think that's going to be our new mecca for the peat heads here for us, that where Islay whiskey's just been outpriced. So what's your opinion? Where are we going to turn to in the future to get good peated, smoky whiskies from Scotland? Or any place else in the world, for all I care, at a good price, a price that does not break the bank. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing. Both of these bottles were 100% here, distributed through my bottle share group here in Germany, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.